Do you remember the children's story, The Little Engine That Could? A long train must be pushed up a mountain. No doubt the angle is steep and requires a lot of effort and energy to move the train to its destination. Larger trains are asked to complete the task, but they find a variety of excuses why they can't perform it. A small engine is then asked to move its larger counterpart. Despite its diminutive size, the small engine enthusiastically tackles the job and successfully completes the mission, while repeatedly saying the mantra, "I think I can, I think I can." The lesson of determination, self-confidence, and hard work are not lost on children, and they should not be lost on you. I know marketing can be extremely difficult and seemingly impossible at times, almost akin to moving mountains. But you have to have an incessant belief in yourself that you can find success and muster up the persistence, resiliency, and undying effort striving to complete goals. While I've written extensively about the myriad of marketing tools out there, perhaps more emphasis should be placed on your greatest tool, your mind. You must develop a winning mindset where you maintain that eye on the prize perspective. Here, you have short-term, but especially long-term goals, and nothing will deter you from attaining these objectives. Here, you're embracing growth, a firm belief that you can enhance your talent, skills, aptitude, and even intelligence through exposure to a topic, studying it, implementing the appropriate methods, and continuing to refine and practice strategies. The key to success lies in persistent, dogmatic effort. A winning mindset also encompasses grit and determination. Failure is not viewed in a pessimistic, hands up in the sky, woe is me framework. It's viewed as a teachable moment where you, the student, learns what not to do in order to more readily figure out what to do. Fall and you get up. Fall again and you continue the fight with unshakable confidence. Fall again and you know the routine, work tirelessly, and innately know that the result will soon be different. Failure leads towards even greater purposeful action, which is exactly what we need as marketers. But I don't know what point in your career you're viewing this video, but you may believe that no matter where you look, failure appears. It may seem so enveloping that you're convinced that winning outcomes are impossible. I remember thinking this way too, that failure was inevitable, and after sharing this sentiment to a friend, she forwarded me an article on Ray Kroc, the person who is credited as the owner of the franchise McDonald's. But he had a vision of multiplying this fast food chain and getting an exponential return on investment. But it's not only Kroc's achievement that is noteworthy, because we all know he accomplished exactly what he set out to do, but how he got there. In his early 50s, after performing a slew of low-paying jobs, he was selling milkshake mixers. He had to travel extensively looking for potential customers to buy his machines. After some initial success, Kroc began to flounder at this job. At this time in the 1950s, people were flocking to the suburbs, and his primarily city-based customer base did not reorder the devices. And many establishments were going out of business. Now, Ray Kroc could have folded his cards and could have tried to secure a desk job to make his impending retirement more secure. But Ray Kroc believed in himself and thought that he could carve out his own destiny by looking for a new opportunity while performing his current job. Determined and focused, Kroc landed a great order from a small establishment in California called, you guessed it, McDonald's, owned by the McDonald's brothers. They ordered 8 milkshake mixers. Happily surprised and grateful for the order, he had to investigate this company. How could they buy so many machines when all the other vendors were scarcely buying any? He went to the store with no indoor seating and quite a limited menu, primarily burgers, french fries, soft drinks, and milkshakes. Amazed at their success, he told the McDonald's brothers that they could and should have thousands of locations and even go international. But the brothers were content with running their small store and did not share Kroc's grandiose vision. However, they agreed to give Kroc the marketing rights to promote and establish new McDonald's. Lesson: Grok saw a promising opportunity and had enough confidence in himself and in his intuition and business acumen to act in accordance with his vision and making his dreams come true. No excuses. He did not think that he was too old. He did not lament over his difficulties with the business of selling milkshake mixers. He did not burden himself with all the other I can't reasons. He eventually bought out the McDonald's brothers for $2.7 million and made McDonald's into one of the richest companies in the world. It's probable that Ray Kroc never looked into the mirror and thought of himself as a washed-up loser. So before acting on any promising opportunity that you pursue, develop a self-perception and self-regard that augments the chances of success and does not work against it. When you're in front of the mirror, what do you see? What do you hear yourself say? Do you berate yourself with comments like, "I'm overweight and I'm getting old"? Or do you stand tall and say, "I look great"? A mirror reflects much more than what your eyes see. A mirror really reflects your inner thoughts and your beliefs. It is a reflection into the soul. So look at yourself with kindness, understanding, and compassion. It's easy to criticize yourself and find fault with your perceived shortcomings. But the trick is to concentrate on your strengths, work on weaknesses without a critical eye, and celebrate the unique person you are. Once you develop true self-esteem, positive self-regard, and unshakable confidence, you'll stand tall on your route towards success. Feelings of self-esteem, confidence, and empowerment take time. Even if you possess uncertainties about yourself and your career, and almost all of us question our abilities at times, ask yourself whether you expect to ultimately win or lose at this marketing game. I find that when dealing with students I teach, the language of many suggests that when faced with an opportunity of any description, they don't expect to win. Therefore, by default, they are setting themselves up to lose. How is it that your words get assembled in the first place? They have to be thought either consciously or subconsciously. What is your language? Is it positive or is it negative? Therefore, change your thoughts when necessary and your internal dialogue. And don't wait for success to make these positive changes. You can buy all the bright, shiny objects you see, follow those famous gurus and their millionaire systems, and you'll still swing and miss if you continue to hold onto negativity and pessimism. Until you have confidence in yourself and the same winning mindset as your millionaire coach, you will never win. The winning mindset ideally precedes the winning campaign and not the other way around. Your mind traffic, your mindset, is going to determine what direction you see more clearly, success or failure. As the saying goes, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Are you thinking about financial independence, or do you just hope to eke out a living? Is your goal to become a wealthy entrepreneur? Or are you just looking for some measure of financial security? Bear in mind that a goal is different from a wish. You may wish to be rich, but that doesn't mean you've taken any practical steps to make it come true. If you've ever earned enough money to put some aside, like most people, you've probably invested it with an eye towards security, since you can't imagine yourself ever getting rich. Take the lead of Robert Kiyosaki, best known for his Rich Dad, Poor Dad book series. He in turn follows the advice of his rich dad. All of us have the power of choice. I choose to be rich, and I make that choice every day. Being wealthy is a mindset. Money is a critical part of wealth, and anyone who tells you it isn't doesn't have any. Period. Important as it is, having money is only a part of wealth, and deep down inside you know, or at least suspect, this is true. So perhaps before you take any marketing action, elevate thoughts about yourself and change your thoughts about money. Force yourself to think like the rich, such as the belief of self-determination, thinking big, and acting despite fear. They believe that money is a positive asset that can help themselves and others. They certainly don't believe that money is the root of all evil. Regardless of how much money you make, you will end up right back where you started if you don't change your thoughts about money. Don't let old habits get the best of you and your finances. For years, I kept on saying that I'm not that interested in money. I focused on making a positive difference in the world, but helping others and attaining wealth don't have to be mutually exclusive. If you also claim that you're not interested in money, what this really means is you're not interested in making the life-transforming changes necessary to pull up all your stubborn roots, to move beyond job security and towards financial freedom. Think it, learn it, do it, and see money flowing your way as your wealth magnet. The reason you're listening to the video and reading our marketing materials is to achieve, hopefully lofty, financial goals. The objective is not just to attain job security or financial security, but financial freedom, where money is no longer a concern. Many people believe that job security means financial security. Do they still believe this after they lose their jobs and can't find new ones? Even financial security is nebulous and can change with the sudden downward spiral of the stock market, for example. Your goal as a budding entrepreneur is to attain financial freedom, which not only suggests an overabundance of money, but an overabundance of free time and autonomy. But our mind sometimes prevents us from shooting for the stars. Our conflicting, self-sabotaging voices tend to shout at us and pressure us instead of serving to calm and reassure us. These negative voices often give us bad advice. Sometimes all the voices want to talk at the same time, and this only causes anxiety, confusion, and immobilization. We become fraught with worry about doomsday scenarios and doubt our innate talents and strengths. We become so self-conscious that we become like a deer in the headlights of an oncoming car. Here, our negative thoughts are counterproductive and limiting. Negative mind chatter acts as a self-fulfilling prophecy, ensuring that events and conditions will turn out unfavorable, reinforcing and perpetuating our negative emotions. Can you imagine what would happen instead if we focus our thoughts on joy, happiness, and courageous action? This type of positive mind chatter will start giving you the power you need to live the life of success and happiness you deserve. By refusing to concentrate on positive expectations, you're setting the wheels of failure in motion. After all, in the absence of other information, our minds tend to fill themselves with worries, doubts, or fears. Our minds are constantly looking for the worst-case scenario, part of our primitive brain's survival mechanism. We're like a gerbil running on a wheel in its cage, feet working furiously, but not getting anywhere. Like the gerbil, our minds love to be busy, almost too busy. Our mind transforms into what I call a self-conscious brainstorming. It's likely the pattern originates in childhood. As children, we always faced new situations, and we risked embarrassment or injury if we didn't respond skillfully, or how others felt we should have responded. The voice that starts off warning us about potential danger becomes hypervigilant and is always looking for danger or ways to protect you against these feelings of failure or embarrassment. Sometimes it sees it when it's not actually there. Our defense mechanism kicks in, and we just try to avoid any type of pain, including failure, which precludes us from taking action. We then conjure up all the protective, negative messages that we can't accomplish our goals. Listen closely to these destructive messages. Remember last time you tried to do that? You're going to totally embarrass yourself. You are in way over your head now. Do you really think you're qualified? It isn't like you're the expert. Now, what's your excuse for inaction? Take a moment and look at the list of possible excuses that you're using. So how do we stop the bevy of excuses and the negative mind chatter? First, we have to be aware of it. and in enough pain and discomfort to stop it. Pain precedes change. It's only when we know the status quo is not benefiting us and that we're living unfulfilled lives with dreams way out of our reach that we begin to foment the idea to change. As an example, a man doesn't quit his job until the pain of working for his maniacal boss, who is wildly disordered, insane, is too intense, a pain that is greater than the idea or fear of living out of a cardboard box. At this point, you realize that the pain is interfering with your quality of life and must be mitigated. You can start developing an internal support system, one that calms and reassures you, instead of criticizing and worrying you. The controlled voice might say, "Hey, you've been here before. You know what to do. Don't listen to those other guys." Begin to use affirmations or sayings that you can say in the face of your negative mind chatter to counteract it. Like, "I can do this," or "I am good enough," or "God doesn't make junk. How can I make this work? I will find a way." Harness that negative and destructive energy and alternatively use it for creative purposes. You're now channeling your thoughts to focus on the work itself, and you're no longer wasting time and energy on the "I can't" or "I won't be able to" mindsets. You're becoming more positive about outcomes, more passionate about the campaigns ahead, and more compassionate about your present state of affairs. An upbeat, positive attitude strengthens your resolve and commitment and chips away at negative self-perceptions and a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. Reinforce your positive thoughts with a reward. The size of the reward is not the focus here. What you're trying to do is to reward yourself for your daily accomplishments in order to motivate and encourage yourself. Again, monitor that self-dialogue. The next time you trip up or make a mistake, listen carefully and notice what you're saying to yourself. Do you beat yourself up, or do you still pat yourself on the back for the effort? And subsequently, do you do your best to learn from the errors you've committed? There is no shame in failing, only failing to try. When failure arises, refuse to engage in a self-flagellating verbal onslaught. Talk to yourself as you would talk to a good friend who is dealing with the same circumstance. You'd probably say something like this: "Hey, you did the best you could. Now it's time to pick yourself up and try again." The ability to take risks is built on how you rebound from mistakes. In order to develop and maintain positivity and resiliency, it's imperative to surround yourself with positive people. But even if there are critical folks in your social circle, you don't have to allow their criticism to become part of your self-concept. Their messages don't have to be internalized, and you can categorize them as a barometer of their internal mindset. It may be their truth, but as it pertains to you, it may not be the truth. Cultivate supportive relationships. Embrace Gail Godwin's declaration: "One is taught by experience to put a premium on those few people who can truly appreciate you for what you are." Of course, you have to be in that camp too, someone who appreciates yourself for who and what you are. Still, I fervently believe that you become who and what you are based on the folks you spend time with. Seek out and establish relationships that are going to encourage and serve you, as opposed to those relationships that ultimately get you nowhere. Think about it. Wouldn't it be great to surround yourself with those people who are successful in any economic climate and choose to create what they want in their life? To get inside the minds of those people who prosper no matter what's going on around them and to learn the strategies to their success? In the marketing field, it will be advantageous to network and establish supportive relationships with other marketers. It may just begin by asking for support from others. Measure how others respond when you do ask for help. Cultivate relationships with those who seem amenable towards helping. Of course, do the same outside of marketing in your private life, taking note of who is availing themselves to support you emotionally. Surrounding yourself with positive people will help you fight off the inner chatter that is negative and that limits your success. Your mindset and disposition should continue to spiral upward if you also seek out a mentor or coach, particularly one who has unequivocal positive aspirations and expectations. A helping hand from a mentor or coach can spur on optimism and simultaneously shorten the learning curve. Think about it. Doesn't it simply make sense that you could achieve a whole lot more in your life if you could take advantage of the knowledge, experience, and success of someone who has been there and done that? This person can also hold you accountable, help you avoid mistakes, rebound from setbacks, and ensure that your frame of mind is positive. I've taken my own advice. I've developed relationships with mentors, some of which I paid to secure their expertise, and I have benefited greatly in the process. I soon realized that you can't make money and excuses at the same time. I gave myself permission to fail and to succeed. Before this time, on some level, I did not believe that I deserved success. When I discarded this counterproductive belief, I gave up all my excuses, and there were many of them. I finally gave myself permission to make money instead of more excuses, and here I am today, coaching and mentoring other people and businesses on how to make more money and helping people like you who maybe are just starting out and need someone to show them the ropes. Now, you can't afford to think of your situation as hopeless. Most of us know what it feels like to be down and out, filled with frustration and doubt, and ready to back down from challenges and simply give up. You need to give up all the impulses you have to quit. Believe in yourself. Either you truly believe in yourself or you don't. It's time to envision a better world for yourself. What would you dare to dream if you knew that anything was possible? Buy your dream home? Send your children to college, to any school they choose? Impact global issues like homelessness and poverty? Go into business for yourself? Retire early? Take a year off work and travel around the world? The sky's the limit, and by dreaming big, believing that unlimited success is your ultimate destiny, you're resonating on what the law of attraction proponents would say is a high frequency, molding the universe to provide exactly what you envision happening. Come closer and pay attention as I have a secret to share. Most of the truly successful people are not any smarter than you, they're not any more gifted than you, they're not any luckier than you, and they don't work any harder than you. The reason they have what they have is because they have a different mindset. There is no reason why you can't change your thinking to a wealthy mindset and develop better work habits to propel you on the road towards success. Imagine firing on all cylinders and you're in complete harmony with others, the world at large, and loving yourself unconditionally. You're in step with your financial goals and you feel physically, mentally, and spiritually connected to all. What would that be worth to you? Contrary to popular belief, this would not be impossible to attain or even hard to attain. You simply have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and get yourself moving because knowledge without action is a total waste of time. The bottom line is this: the right mindset will help you create amazing results in your life. In fact, I absolutely guarantee it. It's going to take some commitment and work on your part. If you just want to sit on your duff and listen, then nothing is going to happen for you. Go back to the positive affirmations and see yourself as the winner you are. You need to stop right now concentrating on all the things you can't do or on your weaknesses. Rather, start focusing on what you're strong in and the virtues you hold dear. If you accept this voice that keeps saying I can't and keeps setting you up for failure before you even start, what will be the consequences in your life if you do not achieve the success you desire and deserve? What are the consequences if you fail to persevere? No doubt the answer is an unhappy, if not miserable, existence. Haven't you experienced enough pain and anguish? As mentioned before, pain often precedes change and growth. Are you in enough turmoil to look for other ways to navigate your professional and personal life and figure out how to think, feel, and act in a different direction? If your pain is still not aptly motivating you, how about thinking about all your dreams I mentioned earlier? Pleasure may be a more motivating force for you. Think about why you want financial success and what is the fundamental reward or rewards of your success. Find that inspirational angle that moves you towards productive change and success. My wish for you is that you create $1 million and that you also create $1 million lifestyle in the process. What's $1 million lifestyle? It's having financial abundance with ultimate peace of mind, truly connected relationships, optimum health and fitness, and a spiritual connection beyond description. This is the kind of wealth you deserve. Then, and only then, can you truly say you're wealthy. Are you with me? You see, you can go after just the money, and you might get rich. But does that guarantee you'll be wealthy? No, you need more than that. You need $1 million lifestyle. I'm hoping that our product moves you closer to this unlimited abundance. Thank you so much for listening and viewing this video.